It's going
Before I do
live.
that, go to
Actually,
brand.
actually hit this short video, the one with.
All right. Good evening. We have three of us online tonight. Bria is here with us, Bria Chaney. And I know where you guys are, there's a lot of snow, just like what we have here up north, right?
No,
Oh, we good, man.
we got great weather out here in Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah, we are like 25 degrees and there's snow on the ground and yeah.
And see, you got the
Don't you
snowman
miss
cap on.
that? Don't you miss that? You miss it.
Nope,
No,
Miss it.
no,
nope.
no.
It was
George
great
does.
hearing
My
about
husband does.
that. It was great hearing about that snowstorm going to the East Coast. And it was cold yesterday, but it was like 60 degrees today. So it was sunny. And I was like, man, I'm so glad I'm not up there in that mess.
Cleveland
I'm
had
so
like
glad.
over a foot of snow, and in Kansas
Yep.
City it was like 70 degrees out here, and I was
Really?
just like, thank goodness. Yeah,
Oh,
George was
man.
hoping for some snow on Christmas, and I'm hoping it doesn't look like there's going to be any snow. So
I have to have
Well,
that snow.
welcome those of you that are joining us and welcome to the little show on Thursday night. And tonight we're talking about vaccines. The vaccines have been shipped. We saw the big semi trucks full of vaccines leaving to go all throughout this country and administer the vaccine. We've seen pictures of healthcare workers getting shots. So the question here is, are we, the three of us, and those of you out there listening to us, are we going to get the vaccines now? Are we going to wait a few months or several months, or are we not going to get it at all? What's your opinions? Go, Bria.
I will not be getting the vaccination right now. I'm open to it, but I'm not rushing to get it because I mean
Okay.
this vaccination took less than a year for them together. People are already having bad reactions to it.
Yeah.
Just like, I'm not going to rush to do it. I understand why people are getting it right now, but I'm going to take my echinacea for right now and just kind of keep myself healthy at home. Also, we're taking all these extra precautions to be healthy anyway, wearing masks, social distancing, things like that. So I feel pretty safe right now.
Okay.
I'm not going to get it.
So the reason being is that it was just like a fast-tracked vaccine and you're just not sure about its safety.
I mean, yeah, like just like when, let's say when like the new iPhone comes out and or the new update on the iPhone comes out and there's all those bugs that they got to fix. I mean, I'm just going to let them fix all the bugs and then I'm going to then get it after they revise it again and get it right.
Okay.
I don't want to be the guinea pig. Right now, everyone's a guinea pig because they don't know, what's going to happen.
This is the main question right here.
Mars, what do you think? What are you doing? What do you do with your life?
Okay, so I'm gonna leave that to later.
Okay.
What I'm gonna do. But we were talking about Bria just brought it up. She segued into my part. She mentioned about safe. You asked Bria about is it gonna be safe enough?
Right.
Now, if something is safe, they say it's safe. This is the question. I mean, this is the caveat that it says the U.S. vaccine safety system. I didn't know they had a vaccine safety system. I got to research that. Ensure that all vaccines are safe. This is the catcher, as possible. What does that mean?
Yeah. First of all,
why not just all vaccines are safe? Safe as possible.
We have a comment here.
Want to wait if I have to take it.
Hey, happy birthday, Darren.
Yeah, happy birthday, Darren.
Happy birthday.
So when would you know that in response to that, when do you know that you have to take it? Is somebody going to make you take it? Like your employer is going to make you take it?
Like the flu shot, they're going to enforce it like that. I feel like that's what's going to happen.
Who's going to enforce you? Your employer?
Well, yeah, when I was working, I used to work at a nonprofit, and they made it mandatory that we take the flu vaccine. If you didn't take the flu
Right.
vaccine, then you had to wear a mask every single
Right.
day.
Really?
Honestly, I will take the mask because one, this is a 6-month vaccine at best. You have to get a booster after 6 months.
Yep.
That's crazy. Like people are already having reactions. Earlier before this week, there it was like last
Right.
week or something. There was a um the people who were being tested with the trial test runs or
Yeah.
whatever. There
Yeah.
were people that got Bell's palsy. Half
Yeah.
their face was numb, like things like paralyzed. There was paralysis on half of their face. Um, these are not side effects that I want to experience, and them releasing it right now, even though healthcare professionals are saying that it's okay to take, we are
Yeah.
already seeing people have negative reactions to the vaccine, and how
But
they're
Yeah.
being hospitalized for it.
isn't
That
that
was
a pretty
Alaska.
rare thing, though?
Hmm?
Those reactions, aren't they a pretty rare thing?
Oh, it probably
I
is.
wouldn't say so. There's more than one person that had a bad reaction to it in Alaska, correct?
Well, think about it. You said rare. How many people have been given the vaccine? They had the trials. How many people were in the trials first?
Like
Then
30,000 people,
hey,
60,000 people.
30,000 people. So now you go into the full stage because they're probably still tinkering with it during those trials. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I
Now
don't
it's
want them to be
it,
tinkering,
now
but I
it's
get
coming
it.
to the marketplace where you can get it. Then you gotta make that decision. Then the side effects might not happen right away. You gotta look 6 months to a year to see what happens. I mean, think
But
about
there's
when
two
disease.
people in the
Really?
same place who had a bad reaction and had to be
Yeah, that
hospitalized.
was the last.
So that's
That was the
not
last.
rare. That's not
That was the
rare.
last. But what
Well,
brand? I think it was Pfizer, wasn't it? Yeah, they took Pfizer's vaccine. They
okay.
had they had no previous history of allergies, had stabilized with treatment, but was kept in the how do you pronounce that city in Alaska? Juneau.
Juno.
Juneau,
Juneau.
Alaska.
They were in that hospital. Yeah, but I was looking for they was given epinephrine and Benadryl and admitted to the
Okay.
hospital. So it was like some type of allergic reaction they had.
It's like a rash or
And
something.
Well,
so
here's one question that I have is like once the vaccine started this week, then all of a sudden, like right away, I saw an article that you shouldn't take the vaccine if you have had any kind of anaphylactic allergy
Hmm.
issue,
they didn't have any of that.
such as some sort of food allergy or bee stings or
Right.
something like that. Now, wouldn't they have known that beforehand?
Well, it
That
was
kind of gives me pause a little bit. I was like, well, wait
well,
a minute.
because
Shouldn't they have known that weeks ago,
who
months ago,
who known? Who known? Who should have known?
when they were testing it out, when on all those people,
Well, that's
tens
what
of
I'm saying.
thousands of people took this as a test. You
What was
mean to say
different
that
though?
all of a sudden now you're finding out because it's rolling out into the public?
What was different? What was different? You said during the did they alter it? Did they make changes from those testings because of different reactions? What did they or was it or is this the same dosage, the same medication that was given during the trials? We don't know. But they said 144 staff members were vaccinated that day. Um, a total of 400 requested it, and those two had the reactions. That's
Okay.
not a
Okay.
lot, no. But now you put that over so many millions of people have the reaction. Now, say you give it to a person like Bria, who's what in her early 20s, who has this virus, and she has some reaction to it. How do we know
Who
is
has
that
the
going to
virus?
affect?
Wait, it doesn't
I'm
protect you if you
sorry,
have it.
I'm gonna have a reaction rather, a reaction to this vaccine. Who's to say it does something to your offspring? You have a child. Who says it won't affect you? We don't know that yet.
Right. All of these things
We
are
don't know that.
unknown because and on
Right.
top of that, add to the fact that they developed this vaccine in less than a year. I don't care if you're the best scientist on the planet. I don't care if you are Einstein or whatever. There's no way that you know all of the things that can go on with this vaccination, and it's been less than a
Okay.
year. There's no
Right.
time for you to know anything about it.
Here's the question.
There's
Oh,
The
okay,
experiment
here's a
on y'all.
question that I have about taking the vaccine. Would the vaccine allow us to return to life as we knew it sooner?
We don't know.
I want to say yeah, but then I want to say again that Like I said,
Wouldn't
it's a
it help?
6 month vaccine.
How wouldn't it not help?
It would not help if we have broad reactions, negative reactions amongst people. After you start
Even
vaccinating,
if we had a reaction, then you have a reaction, then it's over with. You're
we
not
don't
going to
know that.
spread.
Like if
You're not
it's
going to
continued to
spread
be
it.
non-life
You're not going to
threatening.
spread that to other people, though.
No,
Right.
we're not saying it's going to be spreading to other people. We don't know what the issue is. If you think about it, if you have, say you give it to 1 million people and say 5,000 of the people have bad reactions, right?
Okay.
5,000, say 5,000 out of 1 million have the reaction like this person had.
Okay.
Everyone then, you have different people going to respond differently. Like this person had, what was it? Shortness of breath. It was, he had different. He had the scratchy throat. It wasn't considered like asphyxious or anything, but it was lightheadedness, puffy eyes. But what if a person had asthma, had the scratchy throat? What these people had no type of allergies in the past. What if a person who does have allergies? We don't know. That's what I'm saying. We don't know. So after you have enough
Hey
people, like
guys,
a million
I'm
people get
live on Facebook, guys.
it. You mute your
Sorry.
mic.
I'm sorry. My toddler is having a
Like
tantrum.
millions of people across the world heard that. Still
No,
need to
it's
I
wear
okay.
can't hear
masks
anyone.
and take it, even if it works. I'm just, again, maybe it's just
Then
upbringing with caution.
why is this such a good thing? Why is the vaccine such a good thing if we're all just
Who
going to
said
have
it?
to wear masks and keep social distance and still have shutdowns and what have you?
Who said it was who said it was a good thing?
Well, I mean, why are they doing it if it's not a good thing? I mean,
Why do you
Okay.
surely you think
no,
it's going to, I mean, the scientists believe it's going to help. The same
Mhm.
scientists who have been telling us to keep social distance, to wear masks, the same people, the same doctors, the same experts have been telling us to do all these measures are telling us that
Mhm.
the vaccine is going to be something that is good for us and good for society.
What do you know about scientists?
What do
When
I
they
know
tell
about
Paid?
scientists?
when something like
Other
this
than they
comes
get
out,
paid?
no. When there is something like this, because we know what happened with all the companies that was trying to make the vaccine. What did that because exactly money. But what
Right.
else is it about? Competition. Everybody's racing to be the first.
Yep.
So when
Mhm.
when this thing first happened, everybody started racing to be the first. When
Mhm.
you race to
Okay.
be the first, what happens during that race? A lot of times people fail trying to be the first at doing something. They're not taking their
Mhm.
time and managing it right because we're trying to fix our situation so fast. We're trying to fix the economy. We're trying to get these people's the health right. All this stuff. I
To
can't.
this
Technology is better, but I don't think
I
that
can
it's going to be
here's
flawless like that. That's just me.
here's what I think where the vaccine is good is for those people who are at risk, those people who are elderly, those people who are in nursing facilities, okay, in healthcare professionals, for them, I think it's going to be a game changer because if you can
Mhm.
protect yourself from not getting sick, and in some cases, if you are an at-risk person, and if you have a higher chance of passing away from this, then for them it would be a game changer.
Yeah, especially if the reactions are rare. If it stays down to, like you get thousands of people who get it and then only 2 people have a reaction or whatever the
Hold
case
on.
may
Well,
be.
isn't a reaction better than dying though?
But
Is it?
an elderly person getting a scratchy throat of having asphyxia is just as bad. I mean, an
Well, they said
elderly
it's not
person may not be
a.
able to handle a reaction like a younger person would be able
Now
to.
you just said, isn't it better to have the vaccine than to die?
Uh,
I would
I
say, isn't it? Isn't
I'm
it?
being I'm being a devil's advocate here, and
No,
I'm agreeing with
I'm
you
trying to
though.
ask
There
questions.
are,
I'm gonna be a devil's advocate on top of the devil. Watch
but I
this.
want.
Isn't
Okay,
it better? Isn't it better because we talked about this in the past, and we had a doctor on our show last week to tell us that keeping yourself healthy can fight off the virus.
yeah, I agree.
Isn't that would be like the smart thing to do? Because
I
now
agree.
Because now, if you're doing it that way, you're not. You can fight the virus because
Here's
your
the
body
thing
is
with that.
working at your body's working at peak performance, right? The second thing is you're not putting the chemical, the virus in your body with the possibility of having adverse reactions.
But to your point, but I want to say this, that everybody doesn't have the same resources and the same access to
That's
eating
true.
healthy and have eating organic and eating clean and stuff like that. Some people have to make do, and the vaccine, if it's going to be free, if your insurance is going to cover it, then yeah, it makes sense to get the vaccine. My only reason for not getting it, and I want to touch on what Darren Carter said about many other countries have shut down and controlled the outbreak.
Yeah,
Yeah, I want to touch on this real quick before I go back to what I
That
was
is some
saying
good
was
insight there.
it
yeah,
is, but countries like New Zealand, who shut down the whole country, took care of their
yeah.
citizens, and then were able to reopen with no new cases in 2 week span. Like no new cases have come up. These are smaller countries. America has millions
Yeah.
of millions of millions of people. There's no way that we can really shut down the whole entire country. Like it's impossible to do so. And even if you did, there's no way to enforce an entire shutdown
Yeah.
without
I got to
taking
push
away the
back on
rights of
some of
citizens.
that. I got to push back on some of that. In on one side, I agree with that, but I think that we could have done much better with it.
Oh
We
yeah,
always believed that we were the exception, and we're not. We are a
right.
country full of human beings, just like New Zealand or China or India or any other country. Human beings carry diseases. I do want to say one thing, and then we can get back to it. But as far as like taking care of your body so that you stay healthy, you can still carry the virus and not know it and be healthy
Hmm.
and feel healthy and not sick, have no symptoms, but
You're
still
right.
carry the virus to somebody who you know and love who is not able to battle that virus the same way. That is why I think
Yeah.
that you should do all that you can to try and not get the virus at all. It's not
Yeah.
about necessarily staying healthy for yourself. I could be
Well,
healthy right now. I feel fine. I could have the virus and not know it. So
but if you
Yeah.
if I get the vaccine, that's going to prevent me from getting the virus and spreading it to my 80-year-old parents. Okay?
Right.
but if you get the
Agreed.
vaccine and your parents don't get the vaccine, can't you still spread it to them?
If I can't get the virus, if this vaccine is 94, 95% effective, and if I can't physically get the virus, then I can't spread it to people.
Who said you can't get the
Okay.
virus? We don't know that yet, do we?
With the vaccine, does the
That's what
vaccine
the vaccine
prevent
does.
you from being
I
sick
thought the
of the virus,
vaccine.
or does it?
I, I thought the vaccine was keeping you from being the effects of the virus. I wasn't
I
sure.
want to
Is it?
say, if you
Is
like
it
with the flu, how
No,
does
no,
it work
no.
with the flu?
the
It
flu? You
prevents
still
you
get
from
sick,
getting the disease.
It builds your immune system.
That's
Of
what vaccines do,
right? It
it
builds your
makes you
immune
immune to it.
system, but
to
no, but it
prevent
I
you
don't
doesn't.
from
know.
getting the
We'll have to
virus.
get someone on here to really go
Yeah,
into what it
I
does. That
mean,
would be
but
a good
people with the
idea.
It
flu,
doesn't
people take a
necessarily.
flu shot and still get sick.
You
No,
can
what
get
I'm
sick with
saying
a
is,
different strand of flu, but you're not going to get sick for if you're going to get a shingles vaccine, if you're going to get a smallpox
mm,
vaccine, if you're going to get a polio vaccine, you're not going to
Mhm.
get polio. You've been
Okay,
vaccinated. So
yeah.
in my mind,
okay,
if you say vaccination, that means you're immune from that disease, whether you
okay.
feel that disease or not.
Well, like I
And
said,
therefore
they
you
did this
can't
too
pass
quick.
it.
They did this too
Well,
quick, man.
going back to our country shutting down,
Yeah,
I feel like if countries follow their leader pretty much, if I mean we really could have prevented a lot of death and a lot of sickness
Yes.
if the leader of the country, who was the head of the country, just said put a mask on, social distance. Even if you didn't shut down the entire country, if social distancing was a thing, why are you having super spreader events? Why, you know what I'm saying? Why are you encouraging the gathering of people without protection? That kind of stuff could have been so avoided. People getting sick, 300,000 people dying. That could have been avoided if Donald Trump would have just put on a mask from day one and said social distance from day one. Because people followed that. He
yeah,
has a lot of followers. Easily could have been avoided.
And I have to say that we never, no one ever suggested shutting everything down.
Right.
Even now, we're not shut down. You could go and get something to eat at the restaurant. You might have to go through the drive-through. Okay, so
Yeah,
what? That doesn't mean that place is out of business. They're doing less business. Okay,
yeah.
but
Mhm.
people act as if it's some sort of draconian, like everything's shut down and we have no rights, we have no freedoms, just because we can't um, go into a store without wearing a mask. And I'm sorry if I
Right.
sound irritated, but I am
No,
sorry.
no. I
No,
tell no.
And
you're absolutely
people are like,
right.
"Oh my God, we're shut
No,
down." It's like, no,
The
we're not.
other day,
yeah,
I was in Dollar Tree the other day. I was just going to Dollar Tree to get some stuff for the house, some little sponges and stuff. Everyone has a mask. There are two women standing behind me. I think they were mother and daughter. I don't know, but they didn't have a mask on at all, and they are talking loudly to each other. I literally, and this was rude, but I was so fed up. I literally walked through the two of them and got in a different line to make it noticeable that I was upset. Like, why are you talking right behind me without a mask on? Even if I have a mask on, you are spitting on the back of my neck. Literally. I don't feel it, but I know that it's happening. So
yeah.
I noticeably walked through them and went to a different line. And they
That was
immediately, you
definitely
can
my
tell
daughter.
that they knew. I'm just saying, like, they knew
Yeah,
what they did wrong. They knew that it was a problem because everyone in
Wow.
right.
was looking the same way. Like it, everyone in line was looking the same way, and I'm just like, oh, no one's gonna do it. I will do it.
I
It's
mean,
I know.
ridiculous.
I've heard so
I was
many
at
stories
Walmart like
about
that.
friends and family, about people being in stores like that. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
was at Walmart like that. I was in the cereal aisle grabbing the cereal. I think it was cereal
Cereal
yeah, I think it
aisle.
was cereal. Yeah, and I was getting the cereal right, and I was getting ready to reach the cereal. And this guy comes up beside me. This was like in March, April, May, back in them days. We didn't know what the virus was going to do back then. And he comes up beside me to reach. And I said, I just looked at him like, what the heck? He was like, oh, I'm sorry, my bad. Like, dude. I mean, he
I
just like
like
he didn't have
the
no mask on,
experiences.
and I'm like, dude,
It's
I
like,
was
I
in
didn't know.
people,
Target. The same
it's
Yeah.
thing
like, are
happened to me
people
in
think,
Target.
I mean, are people thinking? It's like,
They don't
No,
respect.
people
They
are
don't
not
respect the
thinking. People are
protocol that's put in
entitled.
place.
There's a lot of entitlement that goes on when you put restrictions on people who feel entitled. You get a lot of these attitudes and you get a lot of these things that happen and you're just like, what in the world? But then it's like
Yeah.
they feel entitled. He felt entitled to reach front of you. I was in Target. I was like 7 months pregnant, and this was during the time where they're wiping down the carts, and each person gets a cart. This lady on the phone steps in front of me and takes my cart, and I said to her, "Excuse me." And she says, "Oh, were you gonna take this cart? Or did you want this cart?" And I'm just like, "Well, not now. You put your hands all over it." And it was like just like that. And
Yeah.
at the time I was 7 months pregnant, and I think I was just more emotional than I normally, well, I was hormonal.
Yeah.
And so when I said
Yeah.
it like that, I was like, well, not now. You put your hands all over it. Like I was
Yeah.
like really like my feelings were hurt. She felt
Yeah.
entitled. She was like, I'm just gonna walk right in. I don't see this line right here. There's a line of like 10 people. And she walks in front of
wow.
me and takes my cart. I could have
Yeah.
just cried right there. I was so angry
Yeah.
because now I have
I
to wait
think
for him
back
to wipe
then.
down another cart.
I think
But,
back then also people were just ignorant. I think people are. I think more people are more concerned now because so many people who thought it wasn't real have gotten it.
Yeah.
I
or they
think
know
that
somebody who
changed,
has gotten it,
or they
or
know
somebody in their
somebody. I
family.
think that, yeah, that changes their perspective a little bit. So I think there's a
Yeah.
different
Oh, it
respect
does.
for the virus. But I think the first 6 months of the virus, it was a lot of uh, political debate about the reality of what's
Yeah.
real about it. But
Yeah.
people were just ignorant. I think people would like the guy they jumped in front of me. I think he just didn't want to abide by the store's protocol because he got space markers at Walmart on the floor.
So
And so
6 feet.
I think he just really just like, I just gotta grab me some cereal right quick and then think about it.
Just the
I don't even
hours.
think he was felt entitled. I think he was just going for his cereal,
Oh.
but because he doesn't practice the protocols that are set in place or that are advised, he didn't think about it. I don't
Wow.
think it was just I think it was, and that could be considered entitlement if you want it. I think you can say
I
that too.
think
Then
it is. You
if
think that
if you
everyday
I
life,
think
you
there's a
just do
little
what
bit of
you want
entitlement.
without regards of other
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
if
Wait, are
you
you guys
I
getting the
did.
disrespect,
vaccine?
huh?
I did want to get to one. I did want to get to one point. I know we talked about this a little bit, but as far I think it seems what with an American thing, an American solution would have to do with money, would have to do with drugs. Okay, no other country like sort of like rushed into like making a vaccine. Why is that?
They don't have the money. Yeah,
And also because they had other ways of combating the virus. There were countries that shut down and provided stimulus packages to their citizens. There was people who
yeah,
they didn't have to go to work. They didn't have to worry about their business going
yeah,
they didn't have to worry about going out of business because they knew that the country that they trusted and believed in was going to take care of them.
Okay.
That's not the case for Americans. A lot of businesses felt like they were left out. A lot of
yeah.
big businesses got these huge stimulus checks and a lot of people, I mean, what can you do with $1,200 one time? What like that doesn't even make sense. And now what is a stimulus check now? The stimulus
Yeah,
package now that they're trying to agree on is half of that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know all the
And
specifics, but that's what I'm hearing.
it's not equitably given to people. It's given to people who don't need it at sometimes, and it's not given to people who desperately do need it, as you
Yeah.
yeah,
said. So,
Well, when you
um,
look at America, that's America anyway. You're either you make too much money to get assistance, or you are. I mean, wait, is that what it is? You make too much money to get assistance.
well, I mean,
yeah. But like you were saying about the
but some
healthcare
people who
thing.
are making too much money are getting assistance, and they don't need it.
Meaning like you make too much money to get assistance, but you don't make enough to get by.
Well, here's the thing about stimulus. They're saying we're going to give $1,200 or $600 or whatever it is to everybody. Well, there's a lot of people
Oh, I'm sorry.
who are on
Oh,
fixed incomes who are getting Social Security. They get the same amount every month. Why are they getting something? Why not just give it to the people who actually lost a job?
why are you not
Yeah,
paying the essential workers who have to go into work every day? They should be getting paid more. But what I was talking about was in general, like with government assistance in general. It's a thing where you're making too much money to get government assistance, but you don't make enough money to
Well,
get
yeah,
by on your rate.
yeah.
That's what I was
There's
yeah,
that
referring
too.
to.
There's that
But I
too.
know everyone gets a stimulus check, but what are you supposed to do with $1,200 one time? And what are we going to do with $600 this
I
time?
know. I mean,
yeah,
I totally agree with that. It's like, well, that's going to pay 1 month of rent. What am I going to do next month? Because guess what? My business is still shut down. My factory's still shut down. What am I going to do? But that's totally true.
yeah,
Honestly, it's ridiculous to me because when you look at what other countries are getting, when you look at how
yeah.
the other leaders are leading their country during this pandemic, it's kind of like I mean, and then for the audacity of Trump to attack Germany about breaking a record one day when we've broken it 8 days in a row doesn't make sense to me. It is just I honestly can't understand the thought process of that tweet. It's
It
kind of just
really,
like no one would have said anything about us breaking a record 8 days in a row.
it,
If
and it,
you put the spotlight on that yourself.
and
Yeah.
really, what I mean, what that's just mean, like comparing yourself to other countries. Well, we did better
Listen.
than Italy, or we did better than Germany for like one day. I mean, it's like, well, why can't we help each other?
And I
Well,
understand that
Why
too,
do we
but
have
you're
to ditch
setting
each other?
yourself up for like a major slap in the face when you do that, Trump. Because at the end of the day, all they can say is, well, what about the 300,000 people that have passed away in your country from this virus? Why are you worried about what other countries are doing anyway right now? We need to fix our
well,
country. What is happening?
well. One thing is that getting back to this vaccination because we went off a
I'm
little
sorry,
bit
we
with that.
did. I apologize.
But no, no, no. It's good. It was a good conversation. But I'm saying that vaccination, that's like a really big thing right now because we already talked about how the black community feels about vaccinations. Then you have the anti-vaxxers that are out there, and then you have those that have been divided on their decision because of how it's politicized. So
Right.
you have different groups of people that are not sure what they're going to do from different areas. Where in the past it was
Right,
like you get vaccinated, everybody gets vaccinated.
Hmm.
Then you had that small percentage of people that just I don't do vaccinations.
right.
But now it's so many different pieces that are in play that it's still a recipe for disaster in my opinion.
Hmm.
Not that I
Yeah.
want to look
Disaster.
not that I want to look negative about it, What are you doing, man? Can you go? No, you
I'm
heard
gonna
him over
post
get
this
on my
comment
keyboard.
really quick by
Yeah,
Darren.
had a friend pass today. Had a friend post today. His dad passed away. I still see people raw face.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Everybody talking about their rights.
Well, you
Everybody
can't
talking
have
about
civil
my rights.
liberties if you're not alive anymore, is the
Right.
point.
So
Like
I mean, just
300,000
like
people.
yeah. So we got to do a lot of things other than the vaccine. It's really
You were
just
saying
coming together.
you're saying it's a recipe for disaster. I have to question like, well,
Well,
what would be disastrous about, 60% of our population taking it and 40% not? How is that disastrous?
it's more than
Wouldn't
the
that help
it's
no
more than
Man,
the
matter how many
vaccine.
people it is?
We're looking at more than the vaccine. We're looking at more than just COVID-19. When I say
Okay.
recipe for disaster, because the country is so divided on so many things
Okay.
about this COVID-19 is what I'm
Okay.
saying. When I say
so
recipe for
what is the
disaster,
recipe for
you
disaster?
everything. That's what I'm saying. You have people that are, like I said, we have people who are not going to take the vaccine regardless,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Then you have people that are standing politically on where they stand with the virus.
Okay.
Then you have those that are gun ho for the virus. We're still going to be at each other's throats because of what our personal choices are. That's the rest. The disaster part is, will we ever come to a unified front on how to handle COVID-19?
No.
I'm going
That's
to
the,
say
so that's
this.
the point. So that's the point I'm making. What happens? Does COVID continue to spread because that 40% won't take the vaccine, which is going to cause more infections? You know what I'm saying?
I
Or is
want
it
to
going
make
to
a
be a point where you finally buckle down and everybody isolate for a small, short period of time? Like Biden said, he wants 100 in his first 100 days. He wants 100 days of people
Of
mask
wearing
put their
masks.
mask on.
That's it.
Do you
And
think
but
that
right there, it's not going to happen because you got too many idiots that won't do it. I
do you
said
think that
idiots.
the
They will.
vaccine will do you think that the vaccine so say if everybody decided to take it, right? Everybody's not going to decide to take it. But instead of it being a recipe for disaster, do you think that maybe the vaccine could kind of like make all the madness kind of dissipate? I mean,
I
anti-maskers
think it's going to
are
make it
upset
better.
because people have to wear masks. If everyone gets
Yeah,
the vaccine, then there won't be
yeah,
a need for wearing masks and there won't be a need for anti-maskers. Things like that. I mean, like I do think that if everybody were to get on board to take the vaccine, if it's safe to take, my um problem is that I just don't think that it's there yet. I personally wouldn't take it yet, but I'm
mhm,
saying like eventually I do think that maybe it could be a good thing, and helping kind of like unite people instead of this constant division over the virus. But the division is over the virus and I mean over the virus and how we're handling it. Some people don't think it's
Right.
real. Some people don't want to wear masks
right.
But here's
if
the thing
everyone
that I
takes it.
here's how I see it. I mean, Biden's going to talk about is going to start um, encouraging people in his first 100 days, more people to wear masks. It are people going to do it? 100% no. Are people going to do it?
No.
Are people not going to do it just to spite him? Yes. But
Hmm.
is it going to help? Is it going to encourage more people to wear masks? I think it will, even if it's by, you know, 3%. Okay.
Right.
The vaccine, even if, a small percentage of the population takes it, is it going to help? It's going to help. No matter
Yeah.
how many people decide to take it, it's going to help those people and it's going to help overall. So if
Yeah.
it's 60%, if it's 10%, if it's 80%, whatever percentage people it is, it's going to help those people. It's going to help society at large.
Yeah, and I
Okay.
want to say this. I am not an anti-vaxxer. Okay, I get vaccinated. My kids get vaccinated. I just want to see something that's safe. I just want to see something that has promise and that is not going to later on, mess me up later on.
I think the
Um,
Okay.
politics put a bad taste in my mouth.
it did. It did. It ruined it really did. And honestly, we can always take that right back to Trump. I mean, he kept saying over and over again, it's going to be ready this week. It's going to be ready next week. It's going to be ready this time. When you do that over and over again, how can you not have questions in your mind about the safety of the vaccine.
But here's a question for you guys. So, do you give Trump credit for getting the vaccine this fast?
I
For
do.
us getting the
Um,
vaccine?
I give him credit for pushing forward the initiative to get it going. Yes, I do. I
Okay.
give him that, and because he had to be in position to do that. But like I said, it was the politics behind it that ruined it. I mean, that's why we're so divided with it.
Darren, no, I was trying
Okay,
to post it.
so I'm wrong, Darren. I mean, so who gets credit for the vaccine?
Do
Who
we
gets
give
credit
him
for it?
credit for getting the vaccination out there? Would it have been
Who
out
do
there whether Trump was in office or not is the question.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
Honestly, we have to wait and see, because if we give him credit now and then a whole bunch of people get sick,
Check out.
and
What if somebody like Biden was in office and he shut the country down and the numbers didn't grow as they did. They all shrunk down. The numbers weren't big at all, right? The numbers
okay,
weren't big.
okay.
The vaccine probably wouldn't have came out this fast, right?
No, I
because
disagree.
it
I
wouldn't have,
think that whoever was president, it was going to happen.
yeah, it would have been working on whoever was president.
But
Exactly. It would have been working.
technically speaking, he did initiate the program. He was the one that came up with this sort of plan for warp speed. Okay. So,
But
do
we
you
don't
give him
know if
credit?
it's
Do you give
safe.
him credit?
I will give
No,
him
but
credit
go back.
when
Go
we
back to
start
my
to see
question though.
some.
Go ahead, Bree. Finish.
Oh, I, we can't give him credit yet because we don't know. We don't know what. Can we give him credit and then this vaccine turns out to be a disaster?
Well,
I
you start
mean,
growing toes out of your ears, then we know it was a
right.
disaster.
Then we have to take the credit away. So let's not give credit yet. Let's wait and
Okay.
see. But
Okay.
I will say
Well,
that if someone else, like you said, Joe Biden, if he was in office and all the numbers and stuff, you're saying would have. I don't think that it would have come out this soon, because I feel
it would
like
have
the
delayed it.
scientists
It would
would
have
have,
delayed it.
but they would have taken and they would have taken the time and the research, and they would have been able to have more time to make the vaccine, is what I'm saying. It's like 1 year is a requirement for me, at least. There's no time for you to see a trial and error. Yes, yeah, you do look healthy, Dad. But you see what I'm saying, though? There
Right.
wouldn't have been a need to rush it out so fast. Like you always
Right.
Here,
tell me, preparation is key. We weren't
Right.
prepared,
Always.
and so because we're not prepared, we have to rush. And when you rush, things go wrong. So
yep.
if somebody else
Yeah,
was in
okay,
office,
okay.
or let's say if Trump from the beginning pushed the masks, pushed the social distancing, and the numbers didn't go where they did, the deaths didn't rise as much as they did, then we would have had time. We would have, because we would have known how to handle it. It wouldn't have been such an
Right.
urgency. We would have had time
That's
to perfect the
Here's
vaccine.
here's
right.
the thing.
So I agree.
Here's the thing of how I
So
look at
we
it.
wouldn't be leading it. So we wouldn't be leading that right now. The
How
vaccine
can you?
probably wouldn't be out in our country yet then.
But here's another question. How can you give him credit for doing something right when, on the other hand, at the same time, he was saying that we're rounding the corner on COVID, we're rounding the corner on coronavirus, all
Yeah.
You
through
got
the
to read between the
campaign.
lines.
At the
You got to
And you
read
same
know
between
Trump
the
time,
lines.
lies.
at the
Trump
same
lies.
time as he's pushing for the vaccine, he's saying that we're rounding the corner and things are getting better. So
So
why
what does
did we
that
need
tell
him?
you? Wait, what does that tell you?
It
Read
tells me
I
that
between the
he's a
lines.
politician.
No, it tells me he knew the virus was serious, and
Yes,
that's why he
Well,
was
yeah,
pushing for
they
that
they have tape,
yes,
they have
of
recorded
course he
audio of
did.
him saying that it was
around the
serious, and
corner.
the very next day going out to the American people and saying it's no worse than the flu. There's recorded
Yeah,
audio of him knowing how serious it is and hiding it from the American people.
right.
At the end of the day, though, we all know none of this is surprising because we all know who Trump is. We all know Trump lies. This is not. I'm
Right.
not surprised at all. So that and
Yeah.
that's just what it is. We know that he tried to downplay it. Oh, Darren said we could have been prepared
Yeah.
maybe if he didn't shut down the pandemic department.
Right.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Thank
definitely.
you.
So,
Exactly.
but like I said,
But go ahead,
he's
finish
giving
your
me
thought, Brie. I was just going to show
credit.
that, but go ahead.
Oh, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying is that Trump said the whole time that it's getting better. Poof, this virus is just going to disappear. It's no worse than the flu. And he's on video, he's on recording saying this is deadlier than this. So, I
Deadlier than the
mean,
flu. Yeah.
Yeah, these are things that we know Trump said. He contradicts
Yep.
himself all the time. So that for me is not a thing because I mean, in my mind, it for me it doesn't make a difference. The
Yeah,
him rushing out this vaccination, the vaccine, him rushing it out just says that the country is getting worse and worse and it has to be rushed out. With
yeah,
preparation, you don't
Okay.
have to rush anything. That's all.
So,
I
Mars, you were
agree.
Other
saying something.
countries
Go
are
ahead.
prepared.
No, I just said it was just mixed messages purposely done. That was the mixed message, saying we're rounding the corner, but yeah, you're pushing this vaccine really hard.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
lets me
Yeah.
know right there what his, in reality, he knew how serious he was.
Mhm.
But to keep face, he had to say that it's rounding the corner, it is getting better. And, we all knew the truth. You knew it, I knew it, and we all knew it. He already knew it. He has
So it
people
really
around
wasn't
him.
saving face.
No, when I say save the face was for his supporters. He
Yeah.
couldn't. You can't say something's not real, and you got all these people that's shouting the same thing, and then you turn around and say it is real,
He
but
can't
yet
waver.
make it seem you can't say it's real with a red alert signal behind it.
Yeah. You
Because
can't.
it's like he has to ease it in, and all that whole time you're pushing for the vaccine. So
Yeah.
that's what I was saying before. If you had someone who did more of a shutdown type thing as a country, and our numbers went down, it would have gave them people time to really perfect that vaccination. And it doesn't have to take as long as previous vaccination because our technology is so much better. But like I said, the mistrust is because of the being politicized like it was. That's just
So
mistrust.
I
my
say
bot.
here. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Bria.
Nope. What I was gonna say was really not.
Okay. So what I was going to say is my bottom line is that I am going to take it sooner when it becomes my turn when my doctor says that I can get it
Mhm.
because I think it's going to help. I think it's going to help me, my family. It's going to help things in general get back to normal, and I'm anxious
Yeah,
for that. So
yeah,
um, the minimal risk that it is, I'm
yeah.
going to do it. So
And I figured out.
but that's me. That's me. So. I
No,
mean,
you're right.
as somebody that's at risk, so that's
Yeah.
me.
I mean, yeah, that makes a difference. Everyone's situation is different based on how it's affecting you, whether it's affecting your family personally with COVID or you have underlying conditions. That's going to determine how you approach the virus, how you approach the vaccine rather. And that's another thing that we have to get to this place in this country where we have to respect other people's decision and what they do. Just like we did with the mask.
Ex
Everyone has a
but
tolerance level.
do we respect it with masks though? When people walk
No,
into a
no,
store without a mask,
we should.
do we
We
No.
should.
respect their decision though?
No, no, no. What I'm saying
No,
is we
we don't.
should respect. When
No,
I
I'm
say
just kidding.
respect, if a merchant says, a vendor says you have to wear a mask, we ought to
Yes, thank
respect
you,
that
thank you.
Yeah.
protocol. That's what I'm saying. If I'm walking down the street or however the case may be, and I don't wear my mask, respect that person should have to wear the mask because you don't have to walk on that side of the street. It's different where you have rules set up
Okay,
and you disobey the rule. But if I'm
Mhm.
at a I'm trying to think of say a mall that a mall type place that says you don't have to wear a mask, and you have people who do wear a mask, and you have people that don't wear a mask. You see that person coming. I mean, saying
Mhm.
you can see that person coming. You can avoid passing that person. But what I'm saying is that the disrespect that we have amongst each other right now is horrible.
Yeah.
It's like the
yeah,
disrespect is
it
just
is.
bad. Like that lady in the restaurant who told those customers wear your mask. It's the rule, and they just blatantly videotaped her to cause a controversy. They purposely
Mhm.
did that.
Yep.
That's the lack of respect I'm talking about. They showed their true character. Now, as I've been saying this for a while, Darren, since we've been doing this show, I say that for the last 12 years, character is being exposed. Everyone's
Hmm.
character is
Mhm.
being exposed in every area of our life right now. It's not just politics, it's just in so many areas of our life.
Okay.
So these things are happening for a purpose. I just feel like divine thing, from a
Okay.
spiritual standpoint, we're being exposed.
Okay.
And that's what's happening right now, man. It's like
Yeah.
whether it's in every new name it, any topic, you can see the exposure happening. So this
So
is just another
those
area
of
of it.
you, those of you that are watching out there, if you want to comment and what's your thoughts on the vaccine? Are you unsure right now? Are you going to go and take it as soon as you're able to take it? Are you going to wait several months? Are you not going to plan on taking it at all until you're forced to take it? So let us know your opinion if
Yeah,
whatever it
definitely
is.
want to hear
I
that
will say
feedback.
this. Um, we are Americans. We all live in America. And it's not said often enough, but the reality is that we do have responsibility to one another to
Yeah,
kind of keep each other safe. If we
Yeah,
can
exactly.
do
Yes,
no
thank you.
harm and protect. So if you have to wear a mask to keep the person next to you safe, to keep them from getting the virus or to keep yourself from getting the virus, I mean, I just feel like that's a bare minimum thing. Like you're not jumping through hoops. You're just wearing a mask.
It's not an
right, right.
infringement upon your freedoms.
It's not,
It's not.
um, it's
But
really
this is,
not.
I think a lot of people still have the perception that if you wear a mask, it's about you. And it's not. It's about other people.
We're
It's
selfish
not
people, man.
exactly.
We can. That's another. We can go through topic after topic of how we showing selfishness. You know,
I mean,
I
it's
mean,
when you ask an anti-masker why against wearing a mask. We should ask
if
that
they're,
question. Why are you
it is.
against
I
wearing a
have.
mask?
The,
If they're
the,
right not to wear a
their
mask, just
answer
they're
is
right.
that I plan on not getting sick. I
Or they
take
say that
care of
the
I
mask
take care
causes
of
virus.
myself. It's about them.
No,
Right.
they say
That's
the
the
mask
answers
will
that
get you
I've
too.
gotten.
Well, in some cases, the mask will get you sick too. You know, if you're breathing in and recycling that same infection, if you have
Mm.
something. I mean, people have their own. Like I'm saying, everyone got
Mm,
their own
it's an extreme.
outlook
That's
on
an
everything.
extreme case. Like when you think of I know
No,
there was this
I've
one
heard
case
people
where
get
this
sick from the
woman.
virus, from the mask.
Well, I've not heard that, but what I have
Yeah,
heard are people that have gotten something else like pleurisy from uh wearing their mask 8 hours a day. Things like the N95 mask like 8 hours a
yeah.
day, 10 hours a day. They get pleurisy because they're breathing in breathing back in those toxins all day long and it causes an infection in their lungs. But I
Here we
mean,
go. So, oh, I'm sorry, I found it. I
no,
was just
I'm
looking
done.
at it.
Yeah.
Some people have suggested that carbon dioxide from exhaling gets trapped under the cloth and make you sick. This isn't true. So that's one.
But how come? But
I'm
then
about to say
how
some
come
people, who are these
nurses
people?
and doctors have been wearing masks
All the time.
for
I
how
said
many
it wasn't true. I said it wasn't true. I agree. I'm
generations?
in agreement.
Oh,
I'm in agreement
oh,
with you
okay.
guys.
Yeah, I've not
I
heard.
was
Yeah, I was gonna say I've
I'm
not
just
heard
letting,
that
I
one.
was letting the people in the public know that that's not true.
Yeah.
That's all I was
Have you
saying.
guys
Because
ever heard that ad, the Volkswagen ad, where when seatbelts were first becoming a thing, there were people who were outraged about wearing seatbelts. They were saying, I'd rather fly out of the car than be trapped inside, things like
yeah,
that. That reminds me of this situation. At
yeah,
first, people are so against it. They're like, it's an infringement upon
ignorant.
it's taking away my rights as an American citizen. It's things like that. And it turns out that this is actually something that can save your life.
Mhm.
Exactly. Well, I
What do
mean
you guys got going next week? By the way, I mean on Saturday. I didn't want to cut you off, but I was looking at the
No,
time.
that
Um,
gets into a lot of other things. I use that same argument with talking about gun rights or like
mhm,
motorcycle helmets. I mean,
mhm.
theoretically, don't we have have the right to be idiots and to take risk?
yeah,
I mean, I guess so, but
When you're not affecting nobody else,
when it affects other people, then yeah, you better wear your safety belt. So
yeah.
hey, you're right, man. Definitely, you got to look out for other people. So yeah,
anyway,
man. What's the lineup for Saturday? What's going on Saturday?
well,
You
we have a
two are running
lot of
the show
topics.
Saturday.
We have a big rundown. We have a big list of things to go through. Mars is taking a day. He will be working, earning a paycheck, and so Bria is going to be filling in for full time for him. And so we have a long list of things that we were looking at tonight, and we're going to break it down topic by topic and go back and forth and get you guys' opinions hopefully as well. So
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good.
Exciting.
Looking forward to it. Yeah, I look forward to it, man.
The show before Christmas. So we'll see everyone
Yeah.
Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central Time.
Mhm.
Thanks, Darren. He's like, yeah, Bria.
Hey, Willie McAbee, Langford Senior. I see you out there, man. I got to get in contact with you. I know you want to get on the show. I just haven't had a chance to reach out to you yet, but we'll do that sometime soon. And also, Darren, we got to get you on too, man, to talk more about your barbecue sauce, man, your ribs and your rubs and all that stuff, man. So be on the lookout. And it's good to see Kiera McDade. What's going on? How you doing? Haven't heard from you in a while. Holla at your boy. Who else out there? Those are just the three people we talked to today.
Willie, Darren,
And yeah, just three. That's okay. It's all good. Y'all come
Kiera.
back on Saturday. Y'all come back on Saturday. So, oh, by the way, you got to call Kiera when you see her. You got to call her Miss Wood.
Okay.
She's a rapper. That's her rap name.
Okay.
What?
Okay, y'all. But it was just you don't remember her, but yeah, she's come to
I
the
think I
studio
do
back
remember
there.
her. Her name sounds very familiar
Yeah.
from the Sound Lab days.
Anyway, so y'all ready to go?
Yeah.
I'm
All right.
sleepy,
Good night,
man.
everyone.
Love
Take
it.
care of yourselves.
Good night.
Peace
Thanks
to
for
everyone.
tuning in.
Take care, y'all.
Bye-bye.